Hi, welcome to Guru Grit. My name is Monica and I'm just enjoying another glorious summer day in nature, making the most of the summer season here where I live in Canada. So this is a place for learning, and I've always wanted to somehow catalog or document all the books that I've read or what I thought about them. So I always wanted to do book reviews, but this is long before I even had or thought I was ever going to have a YouTube. So this is just something that I hope other people will also find helpful. So I'm going to go through some of the spiritual books that stick out in my mind, and I'm going in chronological order of the ones that I started reading earlier on and that led me to what I'm reading now. The only exception to this is the first one I did, which is Osho's Book of Women, because that one I read later on. But the mood felt right, so I went for it. So today we're reviewing, or not reviewing, discussing, book discussions, book blabber I should call it, Marianne Williamson's Illuminata. So excuse the appearance, they all pretty much look like this. They have notes, probably lost bookmarks in them. This one has candle wax all over it, spilt a candle on it, and the cover is also held together by a piece of tape. It's been around for a long time, and I get some really good use out of my books. I feel that, you know, you remember something sometimes and you go back and you look it up, it's there highlighted or marked somehow, so I'm sure a lot of people do that. So what do I think of this? What do I like about it? Well, Marianne Williamson's quite interesting. I really appreciate her. I appreciate the way she shares her life through her work. She's very honest, she's very authentic, and it really comes through in this book. What's interesting about it is it's not a chronology, like a story or nonfiction. It doesn't really describe anything to you in this sense. It's a book of prayer. And in an interview, when asked, she always answers with, I'm a praying woman. I'm a praying woman. I believe in prayer. I pray. And when she found herself, she explained the experience where she dropped to her knees and just surrendered. And she felt a force come in, and the rest is history. She became Marianne Williamson, who wrote A Return to Love, which I have and I've read, I think, more than once. I'm sure most people who have it have read it several times. So this book is a book of prayer, which is basically Marianne writes out a bunch of different prayers. So there's really a prayer for just about anything and everything. Prayer for achievement, resisting love, friendship, washing us clean, morning prayer, evening prayer, prayer for our parents, prayer for our children, our teenagers, even collective consciousness prayer, the prayer for forgiveness or understanding for other groups of people, prayer for nations, prayer for the world. There's really little that she hasn't thought of. And she just puts out this vibration of love. It's quite nice. So I do enjoy this book. I found a lot of peace in it. I remember when I was commuting to and from work, I had a longish commute, and in the early mornings, you know, I wake up very early. I started work at 7, and I had to take 2 buses to get there. It's transfer. And somehow just going through the prayers, even if they didn't apply to me, just the way that she writes, it just did something. It cleans you somehow or calms you down. And I remember in an interview she said, it's so interesting because it's something I'm sure everybody thinks to some extent, you know, about like being in a good mood or thinking positive or having a disciplined spirit or a disciplined mind. But she said, we think it's so normal that you wash your body before you go to bed, or when you wake up in the morning, you wash your face, you get ready for the day. But you should do the same for your spirit. You should do the same for your consciousness. You don't want to start the day feeling, You don't want to go to bed at night. Like they say, never go to bed angry. So really neat to have, and I just feel it's always on my shelf, always within reach. There's something for couples, intimacy, prayer to attract great love, new romance, healing a relationship, literally anything and everything. She just, it's called Illuminata, A Return to Prayer. If you watch my TikTok videos, it's the top book on behind me, where I have a stack of books that are all color-coded and red. And it's the one that's always on top, hence the candle wax that's now melting in the heat. We're having a heat wave, so it's just gonna nicely encase the book. But it's just always to hand. If I'm reaching for inspiration and I can't find the right wording, I can't catch the feeling of something, and I think, how would I manifest that? How would I think about it? And even as scripture says, pray as though you already received it, and it shall come to pass. So it means send out to the world the signal that you already have that thing and you will have that thing. So sometimes I reach for this just to help me get into the feeling. So, I mean, in some of the lines, it doesn't pray from the feeling, but I don't necessarily think that's a negative thing. Just as if you do tapping or, you know, EFT, emotional freedom technique, you have those assumptive statements at the beginning that just says, okay, this is what's happening, this is how I feel, and then you sort of talk yourself down from it and you feel a lot better. So the prayer can start off in that way. You know, I've been negative, I've been shutting out love, I've been holding myself apart, and I've got leaves in my hair, you know, but now I'm ready to receive, etc. So if you're interested in like a light read, filling the emptiness, there you go. There's literally something for everyone. Mystical power. If you're interested in something to get you on, I would say a routine of self-talk or conscious creating, and you're not really sure what self-talk you should have in the morning or at night, it's not so bad to look it up. It's truly always written in her style, which is very gentle and wise. I feel wisdom just radiates from her. She's a very radiant person. She's, when I reread some of Gary Zukav's book, Seat of the Soul, yesterday, where he explains that awareness, you know, energy. When a person steps into their awareness, nothing really phases you anymore. You transcend, you know, the basic level of understanding of things. And when I read Marianne Williamson's work, I always feel that she understands, you know, and she writes from that place, and she's trying to gently get you there as well. So it's a very gently written piece of work, like all of her work, full of emotional intelligence. So if you're looking for something soothing to read that won't like strain you, make you think too hard, emotionally drain you, not bad to consider getting this book. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to going through other books as we go on. I already have a list lined up of what we should do. But let me know if you have any other suggestions. And for people who are asking books on manifestation, I always default to, you know, my personal favorite answer, which is Abraham Hicks. And I have quite the interesting manifestation tale about that as well. My sister recently got a hold of some of their oldest books that are really hard to find, and she ordered them and had to get them, I think they were used. And it's just so funny how it all came to happen, but she right away just gave them to me and said, read them and then give them to me after you tell me what you think. So I'll be reading those and reviewing those, and I'm even going to have a couple of podcast episodes about them, because they wrote them at a time where people didn't have that many questions. And the formula is so clear in them on how to manifest. Now their work is very like wordy, and it's just a lot, I think, to process for people sometimes. But these earlier books, they were like bang, 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 step 1, step 2, step 3. It's finished, go forth and create. So it's very like Neville Goddard-ish. So I think that you'll enjoy it. I hope you find it useful, hope you find it helpful. Always happy to be here. So if you're interested, I have lots of free content on my TikTok. You can write to me, connect with me, let me know if you have any questions and things like that. I'm gonna try and stop myself from sweating into an absolute puddle on this bench, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.